News for you: that out-of-control wildfire explodes in the North Bay overnight, triggering some tense moments for evacuees heading for safer ground. And a good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcus Washington.
And I'm Laura Garcia. We're already planning to come on early this morning to cover the Bay Area power outages. But this fire that we're talking about here, the Kincaid fire, it just exploded overnight, consuming more than 10,000 acres since it broke out a little after 9 o'clock at night.
Pete Zeratos has been on the front lines near the fire for hours now. And Pete, I see where you are. You have not moved, but the background behind you has certainly changed.
Yeah, that's right. It certainly changed. We're seeing that a layer of smoke actually cover up the fire, which is burning up there closer to Geysers Road, where we were at. We've shown you guys images of that all morning for our viewers just tuning in. But if there is one thing that we've seen really in the past half hour, is that this wind is beginning to pick up. We had a few wind gusts right before we just came on air just now. But let's show our viewers some of that video of the flames burning. The Kincaid fire, which we've been talking about all morning long, began to burn roughly around 9:30 p.m. last night, beginning near Kincaid Road, just east of Cloverdale. Obviously, with the size of this fire, as it continues to grow at 10,000 acres at this point, or more than 10,000 acres at this point, guys, we know that those mandatory evacuations are in place for folks around these surrounding areas. Now, I want to go to some sound from some fire officials, as well as some folks who are leaving the area reacting to all of this.
Weather conditions like this, we're not, as firefighters, we're not being very effective stopping this fire. You need to evacuate. Pay attention to SoCo alerts, Nixle.
You feel helpless, and I'm sure some of them feel helpless. I'm sure they're working very hard. You have all the CAL FIRE people, probably all the hot shots in the area. That's intense. That's an intense group of people.
Then we're showing you guys some video of cars driving through those flames as that fire picks up. Obviously, there are mandatory evacuations in place in these surrounding areas as this fire continues to grow. We're going to keep an eye on these weather conditions, guys, as it continues to pick up. Obviously, as it shifts, that could have a big-time impact on the growth of the Kincaid fire. But just standing here on Highway 128, not too far from Geysers Road, where we were earlier this morning as we came down here, just standing here, you're starting to see that wind really pick up really in the past half hour.
That's very concerning for crews that are out there. Thanks so much, Pete.
Meteorologist Carrie Hall has been tracking those wind gusts for us right now. We see it behind you, Carrie. Some of them extremely high.
Yeah, look at Middletown, up to 76-mile-per-hour gusts, and that was the highest one we've seen so far. And also in St. Helena, we've seen the winds up to about 54, Healdsburg 52. What makes it so difficult for those firefighters is that the wind is very erratic, so it causes the fire to spread in different directions, and it's just really dangerous up there. And for the East Bay, we do still have to be really careful, as we've seen these gusts mostly at about 30 to 37 miles per hour, and for the peninsula up to about 45. Around the area of the Kincaid fire, we have some very warm air, and those high wind gusts, humidity levels only down to about 14%, so it's very dry. We know there's a lot of fuel, and so we'll continue to monitor those conditions throughout the day. Unfortunately, our models still show that we have several hours of some high winds, even as we go through 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock into early afternoon. We do see the high winds, but the good news is that by later today, we will see the winds decreasing and the wind shifting, which will bring in some more humidity. So we'll continue to track that.